The opening chapter of the Bible presents one of the most powerful and foundational stories in Christian faith, the creation of the world. According to the book of Genesis, God created the universe in 6 days and rested on the seventh. This account is not only a story about beginnings, but also a profound revelation of God's power, wisdom, and love. For Catholics, the story of creation teaches that everything in existence comes from God and reflects His divine goodness. In the beginning, before time and matter existed, there was only God, the Bible says. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, Genesis 1:1. The earth was described as formless and empty, and darkness covered the deep waters. Yet God's Spirit hovered over the waters, preparing the universe for the work of creation. This moment marks the beginning of all things, when God chose to bring order out of chaos through His divine word. On the first day, God created light. He said, "Let there be light," and light appeared immediately. God separated the light from the darkness, calling the light day and the darkness night. This first act of creation established the rhythm of time itself. Light symbolizes life, truth, and the presence of God. In Catholic understanding, this moment reflects how God brings clarity and goodness into a world that was once dark and empty. On the second day, God created the sky. He separated the waters above from the waters below, forming the great expanse we know as the heavens. This act organized the structure of the world, preparing a place where life could exist. The sky became a vast space where clouds would form, rain would fall, and birds would eventually fly. It shows God's careful design in shaping an environment suitable for His future creation. On the third day, God gathered the waters into one place so that dry land could appear. The land He called earth, and the waters He called seas. After creating the land, God filled it with vegetation. Plants, trees, and all kinds of greenery began to grow, each producing seeds according to its kind. This day reveals God's generosity. By creating plants and fruit-bearing trees, God ensured that the earth would provide nourishment for the creatures that would soon inhabit it. On the fourth day, God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. These heavenly bodies were placed in the sky to give light to the earth and to mark seasons, days, and years. The sun ruled the day, and the moon ruled the night. The countless stars scattered across the universe reflect the greatness of God's creation. For believers, the beauty of the night sky is a reminder that God's power extends far beyond what human beings can fully understand. On the fifth day, God filled the waters and the skies with living creatures. Fish swam through the seas, and birds soared through the sky. God blessed them and commanded them to multiply and fill the earth. Life was now flourishing in the oceans and in the air. This stage of creation demonstrates the diversity and creativity of God. Every species reflects His imagination and care. On the sixth day, God created the animals that live on land, livestock, wild animals, and creatures that crawl along the ground. Finally, God created human beings, the crown of His creation. The Bible says that humanity was made in the image and likeness of God, Genesis 1:27. This means that human beings possess unique dignity, intelligence, and the ability to love. God gave humanity stewardship over the earth, asking them to care for it responsibly. Unlike the rest of creation, which came into existence simply by God's command, humans were given a special role. They were created to know God, to love Him, and to live in relationship with Him. In Catholic teaching, this relationship is at the center of human life and purpose. After completing the work of creation, God looked at everything He had made and declared that it was very good. On the seventh day, God rested not because He was tired, but to establish a pattern for humanity. This day became a sacred time for rest, worship, and reflection. In Catholic tradition, this idea is fulfilled in the observance of Sunday, the Lord's Day. The story of the 6 days of creation is more than a description of how the world began. It reveals that the universe is not random or meaningless. Instead, it was intentionally created by a loving God who designed everything with purpose and order. The beauty of nature, the complexity of life, and the existence of humanity all point to the wisdom of the Creator. For Catholics today, the creation story encourages gratitude and responsibility. Since the world is God's gift, believers are called to respect and care for it. Every mountain, ocean, forest, and living creature reflects the glory of the Creator. Ultimately, the 6 days of creation remind us that God is the source of all life. The same God who spoke the universe into existence continues to sustain it every moment. By reflecting on this story, believers are invited to deepen their faith, trust in God's power, and appreciate the wonder of the world He lovingly created.